Today is gonna be great. I'm at Roberto Clemente Road, and it's not in Pittsburgh, it's not in Puerto Rico, but right here in Florida. I want to show you guys where this road leads because it takes us to a school that bears his name, the Roberto Clemente Middle School. I'm excited to be here and show you something I received recently from Shane at Shoebox Legends, and I want to do it in front of this beautiful mural that they have here at the school celebrating Clemente's life. The staff was very friendly and allowed me to record, so here we go.
Come on, you bum! Oh, I love Florida! Oh, let's go!
All right, let's take a closer look at the mural. This was done in 2021. By the time they changed the name of the school by Nesa Millan. Reminds me of Felix Millan, another Puerto Rican baseball great. Got Clemente sliding into the face there. That's where the quote starts. Anytime you have an opportunity to make a difference in the world and you don't, then you are wasting your time on earth. Great quote by Clemente. We start here. There's Roberto and his wife Vera. Shout out to my sister Vera. Not named after Vera Clemente, but it's a beautiful name that my mom chose. There's Roberto and his boys. Great mural of the great one. That's after, I believe this is after he got his 3,000th hit. Correct me if I'm wrong. All you Clemente super collectors. Shout out to Lou, Theo, and Mark. That's a little bit about the mural there. Now the reason I chose this location is not only for Clemente, but for another player that came before Clemente. Now this man wasn't allowed to play in the big leagues due to the color of his skin. He played in the Negro Leagues for the Cuban Stars, and he was the first Puerto Rican player to play in the Negro Leagues. His name is Emilio Millito Navarro, and I want to show you the only card I had before the one that I'm going to show you that Shane gave me is the only one I had in my collection for a while, and it was a buyback. Now recently I was in an episode of Ball Card Banter, which is run by Shane and Brent Richards, and I actually have a folder here that I featured on that episode, and it's my Blame It On the Shane buyback binder. Right, so that you see me and Brent we're shocked at how many buybacks we're adding to our collection now thanks to Shane, so that's why we blame it on the Shane. Shane just highlights these buybacks. He has the most awesome collection of these cards and inspired me to get into them. Now when you open up my buyback binder, right away you see right in the middle there Roberto Clemente. All right, that's the only buyback I have of Clemente now. Shane's got some awesome ones. Got a couple of Felix Millan buybacks here. Nesa Millan is the one who painted this mural, so there's a connection there. And also right there is the only card I had of Emilio Navarro, Millito. It's a buyback. It's out of 2009 Allen and Ginter, and it's that 10th anniversary buyback. So that's the only Navarro card I had. Now what's really cool about that episode is Shane showed a Millito Navarro autograph out of Allen and Ginter that's really hard to find. And it was so awesome because I had just gotten some items of Millito Navarro from a person that knew him in Puerto Rico. Now these are some of the items that came in that package. I have this program about Emilio Navarro from the Museo de Deporte Puerto Rico, the Puerto Rican Museum of Sports. And in it, it just goes over the life of Emilio. It just says here, Primer Boricua en las Ligas Negras. So the first Puerto Rican ball player in the Negro Leagues. And coach de baseball a los 100 años de edad. Like he's still coaching baseball at 100 years old. And it just has pictures of different things that he was associated with. Here's he is with Pancho Coimbre. Some of you guys know him. And it just his stats, teams that he played on here in Ponce. He also was a teammate of Perucho Cepeda. You guys have heard of him, Orlando Cepeda's dad. And this here's an interview that Navarro did. And what I like is this question here. They asked him, ¿Cuál ha sido el momento más impresionante en tu vida de pelotero? What was the most special moment of your career as a ball player? And he said, a que gané el primer dinero para entregarlo a mi madre. So he said that it was the first money that he made as a professional, that he was able to give that money to his mom. Just shows, what drove him, the way he was brought up, just a beautiful family, and what he ended up doing, just living this long life especially in baseball. It's just more photos, more talking about his life in Puerto Rico, what he was able to do. There's Orlando Cepeda that I mentioned earlier. And I was celebrating his 100th birthday. There's a big festival just celebrating a man who dedicated his life to the game, and he did it really well. So that's from Puerto Rico. This is just a cover of a magazine from back then, Puerto Rico Deportivo. Also, there's this poem written about Navarro. It's a very long poem, so I'm not going to read it, but it's just talking about how he was able to reach 100 years in life and be so happy and content. All right, so now this was I was really excited about, because there was this, looks like a bookmark, but on the bottom it was actually signed by Millito. So this right here, when I saw this, I bought it right away. You can hear the bell of the school, which is pretty cool. And then now this is really special. In the 2008 draft, Major League Baseball held a special round where they wanted to acknowledge the living Negro Leaguers that were still with us. One of those guys, of course, was Emilio Navarro. He was 103 years old at the time, and he was drafted by the New York Yankees. And I have these photos here. They are original photos of that day when he actually got to throw out the first pitch at Yankee Stadium. They acknowledged him there on the scoreboard. There he is with a couple of Yankees, and that's him with his plaque. So I think it's so special that Major League Baseball was able to acknowledge these guys that were still with us, guys that went through so much just to play the game that they love. Now, to show you the card that Shane so generously gifted to me, it was this 2009 Allen and Ginter Millito Navarro autograph. And Shane puts it best, where he says this guy was signing this at 103 years old, just a living legend. And it's so cool that Topps was able to include him here in this set. Millito was called the ideal professional baseball player, and I believe that Shane is the ideal collector of baseball cards. Such an awesome gift from my good friend Shane, Shoebox Legends. One of the greatest guys, great collection, great channel. So if you are not familiar with Shane, go check out my friend, please. And you'll be able to see once in a while a special guest that he has on with him. It's his French Bulldog, Leo. And Leo is great. Now, I want to show my latest buyback purchase.
Blame it on the Shane.
And it's a 1-of-1. And it's a guy named Leo Kiley, Boston Red Sox. And this is a 1955 Topps Leo Kiley, which is the same year of Clemente's rookie card. And this here is a 1-of-1. As you can see there, a 1-of-1 out of 55 Topps. Now, the reason they put it in this holder is because the size of the cards back then, before 57, they were too big to put them back in packs like the regular buyback. So that's why this came in this special 1-of-1 holder. So Leo and Shane, the dynamic duo, my latest buyback and my latest Negro League autograph edition. Thanks to Shane, Shoebox Legends, who gifted me this one and inspired me to get this one. And there's one more thing I want to show you guys. I talked about Millito. You're probably wondering, what does that mean? Millito is just a nickname for Emilio. So Emilio is usually called Millito. There's another nickname that you guys might be familiar with, and that's Perucho Cepeda. Now, Perucho is a nickname for Pedro. So now Pedro Cepeda didn't play in the big leagues, although he was a great ball player. That's because he didn't like the segregation that was going on in America. He didn't like that people with darker skin were considered second-class citizens. So he refused to play here in America, even for the Negro Leagues. So he just played down in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba, wherever he was welcome. Now, to end the video, I want to show you my latest pickup for my Ted Williams Card Company set. And that is Perucho Cepeda's son, Hall of Famer, Orlando Cepeda. Peruchin, which means little Perucho, son of Perucho. And he is called the Baby Bull because his dad's nickname was the Bull. So this was the Baby Bull. And Orlando was able to play in Major League Baseball, and he showed the world how great the Cepedas were, but also how great Puerto Ricans are in baseball. So that's how I'm going to end the video. Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate you tuning in from this special location. This honors Roberto Clemente and his legacy, and I just wanted to honor another great Puerto Rican ball player that It's now a special part of my collection thanks to a great friend here in the hobby, Shane. So that does it, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, take care.
I say anything in English. I would like to say something for my mother and father in Spanish. En el día más grande de mi vida, para los nenes, la bendición mía y que mis padres me echen mi bendición en Puerto Rico.